And in this video, I want to be going over some post-RV investments that I am going to be putting my money into. This video is not financial advice. Please do not listen to what I am saying and take any action whatsoever. This video is my own thoughts and opinions, and I'm glad you are here. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Most of you watching my videos are not even subscribed to the channel. So if you do hold Dinar and you want to be notified when I do drop a new video, make sure you hit that subscribe button. All right, now let's jump into the video. So a lot of what I'm going to be investing in, it really depends on what the initial rate is going to be, right? It's hard to really know how much liquidity each of us are going to have until the revaluation actually happens, right? Until that day actually happens, we're all just speculating. If the dinar revalues at a 1-to-1 ratio, well, that's great. That means 1 dinar equals 1 US dollar, and that would be a great outcome, right? If it revalues higher than that, even better. If it revalues lower than that, then obviously we're all going to have to look and see how much liquidity we have after the revaluation happens, right? So a lot of what I'm about to share in this video, it's really just going over the top investments that I'm looking at. As far as percentages go, like as far as what percentage of my, of my wealth I'm going to be putting into certain baskets, that remains to be seen. Okay, like I said, it all depends on what rate we're looking at, because that's going to directly dictate how much liquidity each of us are going to have to invest. And obviously each of us have different amounts of dinar that we're invested in. Some have a lot more, some have a lot less. So that's also going to, play a role as far as how much money you're going to have, to invest as well. Now, I personally believe, this is just my belief, that when the Iraqi dinar revalues, that the economic state of not just the USA, but of the entire world is going to be in a very weak state, okay? The markets could potentially collapse. I think the entire financial system can collapse. So we're going to be in a very different economic state once the dinar revalues than we are currently. Again, that's just my belief. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I don't want things to go bad for the world economy, because that means a lot of people are going to be hurting financially, okay? But that's just what I've always kind of believed. I know there are some prophets out there, like Kim Clement said, the dinar will revalue when things seem to be at their worst. Okay, well, if things are at their worst, if the Dow goes from 50,000 where it is today down to 20,000, that's going to be a really big kick in the teeth, right? So I like investments that are commodity backed, okay? Regardless of how bad things get in the world, right? What do people need? People need shelter. They need food, right? And a large part of it too is fuel, right? Like gas and oil also play a large role in that as well. So the first really investment that I'm going to be getting involved in, and I'm a real estate guy. I was involved in real estate, before. I really like Section 8 housing, okay? Now, Section 8 housing has kind of like a bad connotation associated with it, because you think of Section 8 tenants as like not high quality people, right? Low quality. But the truth is, with Section 8 housing, is that the government pays for their housing. So you are guaranteed your government checks every single month, okay? Now, you might be thinking, yeah, okay, that's great. But, when you're dealing with Section 8 tenants, a lot of them are not, high quality. They're going to destroy your apartment building, or they're going to destroy, the living quarters that they're in. Actually, the landlord, whoever owns that property, reports back to the government housing agency. And if they destroy property, if they damage your property, then their housing privileges are actually revoked. Okay, so they're actually entitled, to treat your property good. That's one thing a lot of people don't understand. And again, if the economic situation is poor, if the stock market crashes, if everything is coming crashing down when the dinar revalues, or shortly after, then even if you own commercial property or a regular apartment building, like tenants are probably going to start defaulting on their rent payments, right? Again, with Section 8 housing, you're getting guaranteed checks from your tenants each and every month. That's why I like Section 8 a lot better than I do conventional multifamily property. So I'm going to be looking into investing, a decent amount of my money into Section 8 housing. Next, I really like precious metals. I like silver and gold. I'm probably going to be investing a lot more in silver. I've been investing in silver since 2011, along the same timeline that I started investing in the Iraqi dinar. And we've seen this big spike in silver over the last really few months. Now, there's been a pullback. I mean, at all-time high, silver was up to about $120 per ounce in the last 30 days. There's been a pullback. I think right now it's hovering around $80 an ounce. And I'm expecting silver to drop even more. I think it's going to go back down to probably $50 an ounce. And then again, post dinar revaluation, I truly believe it's going to skyrocket again. Okay, we could be looking at 4-digit silver prices per ounce, which would be crazy. I mean, $1,000 silver, or even higher. But again, it is something that is more commodity based, right? It's precious metals. There's a limited supply of precious metals out there. So I'm going to be investing in silver as well. Not paper silver, but actually physical silver that I could hold in my hand. Now, because I believe so strongly in precious metals, there is a Canadian mining company. The ticker is BBB. I believe you could find this stock on really on any of the trading platforms like Fidelity, I think E-Trade as well. It's not on Robinhood, so if you use Robinhood to trade or buy, then you're not going to find it on there. But this company is Brixton Metals. Again, the ticker is BBB. I'll throw it up here on the screen. But Kim Clement actually prophesied about this stock, years ago. I know a few other people have talked about it. And really, it's a stock, but it's also a silver mining company, right? So it's really a more commodity-based stock, which is why I like it so much. Because again, what I believe is silver and gold are going to skyrocket in the near future. So, obviously mining companies that are involved in the production and findings of precious metals are probably going to do pretty well too. This company is relatively new. It's relatively small, but it has a huge growth curve, which is why I believe I want to get involved with it, in the near future after the dinar revaluing. And again, I believe all these stocks are going to take a big hit post dinar revaluation. It might happen at the same time, it might happen shortly after, but I believe a lot of these things I'm talking about in this video are going to be on sale, right? Like I believe that we're probably looking at 20 to 50% off of stocks, of precious metals, of cryptocurrencies, and then things are going to skyrocket. So this is one stock that I am looking at. Another stock I'm looking at is Zion Oil and Gas. The ticker is ZNOG. Again, I believe you can only purchase this stock on Fidelity or E-Trade, one of those bigger trading platforms. But the reason why I like this stock is because I think in the near future, when we finally do attack Iran, I believe that's going to send oil prices skyrocketing. I think all of these oil and gas, companies are going to, go much, much higher. I like Zion Oil and Gas because it's a smaller company, but I think it has a huge growth. I like stocks that are a little smaller, but they have a big growth trajectory, right? This is also a stock that's been prophesied about. Now, I really like to put prophecy aside when I look at stocks, right? I like to look at just technicals. I like to see their history, where they were trading a month ago, 6 months ago, their all-time, trading prices, right? And then evaluate and see, what the trajectory has been over the last, few years, right? So Zion Oil and Gas, it's doing very well this year along with Brixton Metals. And again, these are two stocks that I think are going to explode in the near future. So this is another, commodity-based stock I'm looking at. Next, as far as cryptocurrency goes, I really like XRP. I've talked about it in other videos. I'm sure many of you know or have heard about it. I just think it has the most potential out of all the cryptocurrencies. I'm not really a big fan of Bitcoin. I'm not a big fan of Ethereum. I think XRP has the highest potential. I mean, right now it's trading at like $1.40, $1.50 a coin, right? There are some prophets that have spoken about it going to 4 digits in the near future. Again, putting the prophecy stuff aside, I just think the utilization of it is something that we need. Like, our financial system is very outdated. I mean, even if you want to buy dinar online, or even if you want to buy cryptocurrency online, or if you want to fund any of your trading accounts, like, you have to wire money from your bank to the trading platform that you're using. It usually takes like 3 to 5 business days. It's just very, very annoying and very time consuming. Whereas XRP, like, the utilization is it could do cross-border payments in like seconds, right? Which is unheard of today. So I just think as far as utilization, I think, its application is definitely needed. But I think it has probably the biggest growth curve. I know Brad Garlinghouse, I think that's his name. He's the CEO and president of Ripple, which is, the company that owns and runs XRP. He was on CNBC the other day talking about it. So he's at the forefront of all of this. He's always in the headlines when it comes to cryptocurrency. So I think it's just greatly undervalued. I think XRP is probably going to be one of the highest trading cryptos, in the next, 5 years or so. And then last but not least, this is probably one of the most conservative investments, but really just tax-free, treasury bonds, right? One of my close friends. I'm not going to tell you his name. He is a legit billionaire. He always has said that when you think of $1 million, $1 million is 50 grand a year, right? That's usually what you're looking at as far as like, you know, if you're putting your money in treasury bonds, right? Like for every $1 million you put in, you're getting about, you know, $50,000 back. And that's really what treasury bonds pay, right? You know, about five-ish%, and it's tax free. So if you have, let's say, $5 million, right? Well, that could be $250,000 you're earning that is completely tax free. Well, you know, for most people, you could pretty much fund a really nice lifestyle making 250 grand a year if you had, let's say, $5 million, you know, in treasuries, right? Again, this is all sounds a little, you know, it's all speculation, right? I'm just throwing numbers out there to kind of give you an idea as far as what kind of returns you're looking at based on certain sums of money, right? Again, we don't know what the sum of money will be. It might be a lot less, it might be a lot more, and this is all complete speculation on my part. But I just like tax-free treasury bonds, A, because they're tax-free, and secondly, because you're guaranteed an income, you know, pretty much. It's the lowest risk, you know, investment vehicle that you're probably going to be looking at. So these are the investments that I am currently, you know, planning for and currently looking at, you know, post dinar revaluation, and it's all exciting stuff. As I'm recording this video, it is Sunday, early Sunday. We have not struck Iran yet. I thought for sure by now we would have struck Iran. There would have been U.S. military action, but it still remains to be seen. We still have warships heading over there right now. I mean, the stage is set for something massive to happen. I have a hard time believing that we moved all of this U.S. military, you know, to the Middle East, and Trump is just going to say, oh, we made a deal, everyone come back home. Like, I just have a hard time believing that. I think we are looking at military action probably this upcoming week. But again, I said last week that we probably are going to strike Iran by the weekend. Well, the weekend is here and nothing has happened, right? So who knows? Maybe we're looking at this upcoming week. We will see what happens. But nonetheless, this is all exciting stuff, guys. I think we're in the last stages of, you know, of what needed to happen for the dinar revaluation to, you know, to eventually occur. I think we're close. I don't know how close we are. We could be looking at months. We could be looking at possibly another year or two or 5. I don't know. I'm just speculating here, but I just feel that we are close. Okay, so if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Most of you that watch my videos are not even subscribed. So if you want the latest updates, or you know, if you want to hear from me when I post a video, then make sure you subscribe. And I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll chat soon. Bye-bye.